Hey guys, so today we are going to be continuing my Carnival Cruise review. My review of the Carnival Ecstasy. I took a cruise on it back in November of 2017, and I wanted to make a review over certain parts of the cruise, just to have not only for myself, but for you guys as well if you are going on your first cruise, or if this is just your first time traveling with Carnival and you would like a little bit of a heads up or some things that you might not have known about before you go on your cruise. So we have been talking about a few of these videos already. We talked about the price, we talked about the staterooms, and today we're going to be talking about, of course, yes, the food. So if you did not watch the previous two videos, just a little bit of a background here. We took a 5-day cruise to the Bahamas back in November of 2017, and it was around the 25th, I want to say, to like the 30th or something like that, 31st. And I decided to go ahead and review some of the things about it because before I went on the cruise, I kind of watched a couple of YouTube videos and didn't really get a whole lot of information. And there were some things that I thought I should have known before I went that I didn't know. So it was just a lot of things that I wanted to talk about so that other people could be informed and know before they go. Because some of them did help me, and I want to go ahead and help as well. You're also going to be seeing some of my own personal photos and videos that I had taken. Of course, you can see them here on the screen right now, from the cruise that we went on. So let's go ahead and just get into this, and let's go ahead and talk about, yes, of course, the food. So of course the food is a big deal to a lot of people going on a cruise. For me, no, not exactly. I mean, yes, I do enjoy eating a good meal every now and then, but food wasn't necessarily the one thing I was looking forward to. It was basically just to relax and to not think about anything. But I know a lot of people do care about that, and it is a big part of why you go on a cruise, because that's basically what you're doing pretty much the whole time. If you're not eating, then you're drinking, or if you're not having fun or relaxing, you've always got some food or drink right beside you while you're doing whatever it is you're doing on the cruise. So it's definitely a big deal and a big part of why you go on a cruise. So these pictures are some of the meals that we had on our, I know I keep repeating it and I keep saying cruise. Literally every time I say cruise, it's like a drinking game. How many times can I say it in 10 minutes? But these are some of my pictures that I took of some of the food, and you can see one of the drinks as well that we had while we were going on ours. So a big thing with the food is there's a lot of different options, and it might be a little bit overwhelming to some people at first. So for us, when we got on the ship, we went ahead and got lunch because our check-in time was around, I want to say 2 p.m., but we didn't really get on the ship until like 3 or 4. So we kind of went to our room, we got settled in, and it was probably about 5 or so when we took off and started heading towards the island and left the port. So we kind of just decided to wait and see what it felt like when we were on our balcony and we were leaving the port. And we also went and did the safety drill, and then we kind of started to get a little bit hungry, so we wanted to try one of the main attractions that they talked about on the Carnival Ecstasy, which was Guy's Burger Joint. So the Guy's Burger Joint is on a few of the ships. I don't know exactly which ones they're on, but I know it's on the Ecstasy because that's the one we went on, and we went to get one that afternoon to have, because everyone said you have to try the Guy burgers. They are absolutely delicious and some of the best burgers that you're ever going to eat. So we went down and got us a Guy burger. And that was probably the biggest mistake that we had made, because a lot of videos that I watched when I came back had told us They got the guy burger and they absolutely loved it. But they didn't get the guy burger on the very first day. Like the sailing day was the worst time to get the burgers because they make them kind of like conveyor belt style, where they're constantly cooking like a ton of burgers at once, and they're always on the flat top, and they're just cooking burgers and serving them as fast as possible, so everyone can get their lunch and pretty much get to what they want to do on the cruise. So it's the busiest day, the very first day that you get on the ship, and I know that for a fact because there was a lot of people lined up for that burger. So we got one, but we didn't get one basically until they were almost about to close. It was like the last couple of burgers they had left. There wasn't anybody in line because when we went there to get one at first, the line was really, really long. So we decided we would wait, and that's why we went on the balcony. We watched our ship sail away, and we also went to the safety briefing meeting as well. And then we got our burgers, and they weren't what I was expecting. They were pretty, I mean, I don't want to say nasty, but I didn't really enjoy them at all. The fries were soggy because they had been sitting there for so long, and the burger was just a basic flat, ground up meat dried burger with cheese on it that was starting to dry up because, of course, it was the last of the day. And it really wasn't the best time for us to go get a guy burger. So I really wish I would have went back and got another one like a day or two into the cruise, because we didn't actually go back there and get any more of the burgers. They are free that I know of. They have two or three restaurants on the ship, I believe, that give you free food, and Guy's Burger Joint is one of them. It's included in your cost of your cruise. So we could have went by there any day for lunch or whenever and got ourselves a burger. But just the first day, the first experience with the burger kind of made us turn off to it, and we didn't really want to eat there anymore. So that was a little bit disappointing for us because we had been looking forward to trying them. And when we found out that, well, they didn't taste so good because it was the first day and they weren't freshly made, they weren't the best. So if I did have a suggestion for you on the Guy's Burger Joint, if you do have it on your cruise, just make sure not to get one on the very first cruise day. Maybe a day or two later for lunch or something, go back and get one, because I'm definitely going to do that again. I'm going to do the right thing next time, and I'm going to get me one from the burger joint whenever, like, it's 2 or 3 days into the cruise. Not the very first day, and I'm not going to be one of the last people before they close to get one either, because that was the whole reason why it was so dry, and it wasn't good. But they also have another place that we went to a few days later. It was a seafood and taco joint type restaurant place where they served you fish tacos, or you could get like chicken tacos or just some regular beef tacos. So we went there and got those for lunch one day. They were really good. I really enjoyed the fish taco. It was so juicy and tender. Probably some of the best fish tacos I've had besides the ones that I've had here around where I live. I've had maybe one fish taco around here where I live that was really, really good, but on the cruise, these were pretty good as well. And they give you a whole bunch of condiments that you can just put on top of them. And they have some sauces as well that are super, super spicy. If you really like spicy food, you can put like a habanero or some type of different sauce that they have made out there on their bar, where you can get yourself any type of basic covering for your taco that you want. So that was really good. I really enjoyed that. They also had, I believe it was a 24-hour pizza place in the main buffet area. That way you could get pizza whenever you wanted it. That we didn't actually ever try. Now that I am off the ship, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos from some people who had got their food there. And one of them had said that that place had one of the best Caesar salads they've ever eaten. But then the one on the Carnival Ecstasy, they also went on that ship as well. They said that was actually not good. Theirs wasn't good. So I don't know, it must depend on the ship that you're on, but they have the pizza back there if you would like pizza. Then of course the like I said, the main buffet area is over there as well. If you would like to get buffet style dinners, they have different types of foods that they put out there every single day for lunch, and I think they have a breakfast bar. I don't exactly know. I'm pretty sure they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just they do it at certain times in the day, and we didn't know exactly what time of the day each of it was, because when we would go check, they were either setting things up to get ready for something, or they were getting ready to close down because it was, you know, time for them to put the buffet back up until the next service. We didn't really do anything with time, okay? Time was not something that we even cared about when we were on the cruise. If we were hungry, we went and got food, because there's always somewhere for you to get food. But we didn't go to the specified times for anything other than our sit-down dinners, and we also got stuff from room service as well, which you can get all the time whenever you want it. The room service menu is in your room, and you can call down and get yourself anything you want any time of the day. You can see there we're eating our lunch on the balcony outside of our room there, and they have a specific menu where they have items listed that you can get that don't cost anything at all, but then they also have some other select items, of course, like you see, such as the alcohol, that do cost money, and you can get certain meals that are extra, so you just have to watch. They do list it on there on the room service menu though, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you're not sure, you can even ask them as well. I know when I called down to room service at one time to ask for something, they gladly told me that it wouldn't be charged and it would be covered, or it would be charged. So that was very good that they did that as well. And then the other pictures that you're seeing there of those beautiful looking plates, those are our sit-down dinners, and those are actually what we ate at the most. You get assigned a dining room based on where your room is on the ship. It's pretty much a flight of stairs up for us. It was to get to your main dining areas, because they want to keep your dining area around your room. So if you're in the back of the ship, then your dining area is in the back right above you, or if you're in the middle, or if you're in the front, they give you your own special area to go and eat dinner. So the sit-down dinners, you can go there breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We didn't actually eat lunch there because we didn't know what time. We didn't really keep up with times. We just kept up with the time of dinner for us, and I had our dinner time set at around 8 p.m. I believe it was. You have a chance before you go on your cruise to pick your dinner time. So you can have an early dinner time at 6 p.m. or you can have a late dinner time at 8 p.m. It just depends on what you decide you want. And they do have a dress code for those. And sometimes they have a cruise formal night where everyone dresses up in their nicest attire that they brought with them. And you can just eat there in the dining room. And also, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but with Carnival, I know for us it actually was, and I don't know if everybody was like this. I guess because it was just us two. We didn't eat by ourselves, only for like breakfast or lunch. I think we didn't ever go for lunch, but we went for breakfast a couple of times. And for breakfast, we always sat by ourselves. And for dinner, we had a couple of dinner guests, I guess you want to call them. Basically, we had 2 more people sitting at the table with us that we got to talk to. And I know a lot of people might not like that, or they might like it. We enjoyed it. We got to know the people that we were sitting with, and we really enjoyed talking to them. They were really nice people. So it just depends on if that's something you like to do, and if not, then you don't have to go to the dinners. They have plenty of other options for food, obviously. And sometimes they don't show up. So, you know, you could go to dinner one night and they not be there and you have a dinner for two just for you guys. Or another night they could go to dinner and we decided we didn't want to go to dinner. We went somewhere else. We got room service. We stayed in. So it just depends. Once we got to know them though, they did show up for dinner every night and we also did as well, and we got to know them and we had pretty much a really good time talking and sitting around with them and getting to know just random strangers. And also they did tell us something pretty fascinating as well that we didn't even know until like the last few nights of the cruise. When we sat down for them with dinner, we went to go get our order and they have like appetizers, entrees, and desserts that you can choose from. They had told us that if you want to get 2 appetizers, 2 entrees, and 2 desserts, or whatever the heck you want, order it. They're gonna give it to you. So that last few nights, if we saw like 3 appetizers we wanted, we had them all sent to the table. We got like 2 entrees, tons of desserts, just had all of it sent to the table, and we just kind of did a little tasting with our other diners that we were sitting with, and we all just ate from each other's plates and we just enjoyed all the food because we didn't know that you could just order from the whole menu whatever you wanted. Like you could order the whole entire menu if you wanted to, and it was all free and they would bring it to you. Unless, now I will say unless, because there is one thing that I do want to talk about as well, that you order something special off the menu that is at an additional cost. So for us, they had at the bottom an additional menu. Like if you wanted lobster, let's say, that was $30. Or if you wanted a steak, some type of steak surf and turf thing, or lobster and steak and all that, they had different options down at the bottom. Those cost extra. And then of course, if you get wine with your meal, or if you get alcoholic beverages with your meal, those cost as well, unless you have like the drink program, which I am going to talk about here in a little bit. But I would have to say that the picture in the middle there, those are scallops. Absolutely my favorite of the whole entire trip. That was probably my favorite meal that we had. The one on the right is, I believe that is the rabbit. I'm not sure. I didn't have it. I have a few things that I don't eat, and one of them is a rabbit. So I didn't try it, but he said it was good. He liked it, but I didn't try it. The scallops were definitely my favorite, and the plate was beautiful to look at as well. I did like the way that they decorated the plates like that, because around where I live, they don't really do that with the plates. And it would be so much nicer if they would just do that with the plates. I felt like I was on like the Food Network or something, because I'd never had a plate that's so fancy before. So that was really nice, and I really enjoyed eating in the dining room, especially for like the formal nights. I know a lot of people might not like that, but I liked getting to dress up and go in there in my full dress attire. We did realize though that they go all out for formal night, okay? So if you go in there dressed and you think you're looking good, you're probably not. And there was people dressed like prom, okay? They had full-on suit and tuxes and like prom-looking dresses on, or wedding dress. It was like they were going to a wedding too. It was just really, really, they were decked out, and we kind of felt out of place at times because we were like, well, I brought this one dress. It's kind of I guess okay for dinner, but I just felt really out of place with formal nights. So next time I do go on a cruise and they have a formal night, I'm gonna bring my best dress, and we're gonna bring the best clothes that we have, because they really dress up for those, and that's really cool to have, because sometimes you like to just dress up and go out. Alright, so one thing I do want to mention though. Now, we talked about where you can get food, what costs and what doesn't cost. Now, the drink programs are a big thing, okay? Because I've been talking about this a lot. If you have a drink program, everything that you buy that is a drink will be covered, okay? So, if you don't have them, you will only be able to get something that's covered on the menu, okay? So, example. When you go to dinner, they give you water, and then they offer you, for us they set a bottle of wine on the table that had a little ticket thing on it, and it said, if you would like to enjoy this bottle of wine with your meal, please let your waiter know or waitress know, and they will come by and pour you a glass, and they will charge you for it. And they showed us how much they charge for the whole bottle, if you would like the bottle, or for a glass itself. So you could get, I believe, orange juice, apple juice, any type of juice, milk, or tea, sweet teas and stuff like that, and I think just regular coffee. Those are all covered. If that's what you want to drink, that's covered. If you go into like sodas, where you're getting your Dr. Peppers, your Coca-Colas, anything like that, it does cost unless you have a soda program. So with Carnival, they offer two types of drink programs. I think they offer 3. I'm not sure if they do or not, but I think the main 2 that you want to look at is they offer a bubbly soda program or something like that, where all of your bubblies, basically anything that's like pop or any type of soda, that's covered. So if you do tend to drink a lot of soda, that is something that will cover you. But I don't know how much it was. I want to say it was like, I think it was like $23 to $30 or something like that a person. And that is for the entire duration of the cruise, and everybody has to get it, okay? So if you're on a 5-day cruise, that's like $25 a day. So it's over $100, 100 and something, I don't know, I'm not good at math, 125 I think, if it's 5 days. So that would be how much you would pay before you go on your cruise, if you want the drink program, just for the sodas. Now you can get a whole big beverage program that includes everything. So if you're a big person who likes to drink sodas, but you also like to drink your alcoholic beverages, then you can get sodas, alcohol, everything. And I don't know how much that one is because I didn't even look at that. Not even something I considered. That is on there as well. And I think they have an alcohol only beverage plan, and that one was about, I want to say $60, around $50 to $60 per person, and that's for the same as the soda program. It's for the entire duration of the cruise, and you both have to get it. That was the thing that kind of turned me off to it, because I don't drink alcohol, and the whole time we were on the cruise, we had talked, and I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna try to find some kind of alcoholic beverage that maybe I might like, because I just don't really like anything with alcohol in it. So I tried a few things. I found one drink. It was called, I believe it was called a mango something, I don't know. It was a mango drink. Oh, it was called a kiss on the lips. Yeah. Very weird to ask for that whenever you're getting the drink, because that was the one thing that I loved. That was my favorite one that I found. Nothing else actually was that good. And honestly, you could get the same thing. One night we went towards the bar because he wanted to get him something to drink, and I decided I didn't want to. So I got basically the same thing. It was just called a Mango Madness, and it didn't have any alcohol in it. And that was actually really good, and I enjoyed that. So either way, it was something I tried that I actually did like. But we didn't have the beverage program, so I didn't want to keep ordering drinks that I didn't like and I was not going to drink, because that would just be a waste of money. So it was actually beneficial to us not to get the alcoholic beverage program. It was just something that I thought we would waste, because you kind of have to average up about how much you'd have to drink each day for it to be something that is worth getting. So one thing that we did was, we thought, okay, you'd have to drink at least, I don't know, 12 or 13 drinks per day to equal the amount of money that you would spend on the cruise. And I know I wouldn't drink that much. Now, somebody else maybe. He really loves his alcoholic beverages whenever I let him go ahead and do that. But he did probably drink about the whole cruise. He probably had about 10 to 12 drinks. Okay, so that's the whole entire cruise. All right, he would have to drink 13 to 14 drinks per day if we wanted him to have the alcoholic beverage program and it'd be worth money. And I would have had to do that too. And I just didn't want to do that. So we didn't spend the money on it. But if that's something that you do and it works out for you and you end up thinking, okay, well, this is definitely worth it, then go ahead and do it, because that covers all of your alcoholic beverages, okay? So if you go to any other dining area besides the main dining room, you get wine, you get a beer, you get some different kind of hard liquor or something, or a cocktail. It's all covered under that drink program. But if you don't, then you will pay for it. And believe me, it is not cheap, okay? It is not. We went for breakfast one morning, and he got a mimosa because he had never tried one before. And I said, hey, you want to try a mimosa? Most of the time, people have those with their breakfast in the morning. He got a mimosa, and it was about $10 for a little champagne flute of drink. It was so tiny. He took like 2 drinks of it, and he was finished with it. That's how little the drink was, and it was almost $10. So that was pretty expensive. So if you do think you're going to be drinking a lot on a cruise, definitely check out the drink program. It's about, like I said earlier, I think it's about $60, something like that, per day. So if you're going on a 5-day cruise, then you can add up how much it's going to cost, and you can see if that's something you might be interested in. Or if you do like I did with some of the, we were talking about the price, and I showed you guys some of the different types of cruises. Norwegian Cruise Lines had a free open bar that they were offering at the time. So it just depends. With Carnival though, they might have a special where they'll offer something for free. I've never seen it before yet, but they do offer, like, sometimes they'll give you free onboard credit, which you can use as well. So if you get $50 to $100 of onboard credit, you can use that and buy all your alcohol with that, and then you won't be out any money. So it's all in your preference, okay? Whatever you want to do. But I'm basically going to tell you guys, since we're only talking about the food, I think I've pretty much covered everything. There is one thing though that I do want to talk about, and it was something that I personally thought was like, it's something I couldn't believe, but I did take a picture of it here, so I have it right there. So that is the extra, the $30 lobster. I looked on the menu one night and I was like, you know what? I haven't really had any seafood on this cruise. I really wanted to get some seafood. We had the fish tacos, but I was looking forward to just having like crab legs or lobster or something. And they didn't actually offer anything like that. They offered a lot of other traditional, I guess they're traditional, I'm not sure, but just some other dishes that you may have not tried before. And I know some of the ships do have a seafood restaurant on them, but the Carnival Ecstasy didn't have one, so we had to go with what was available in the dining room. And by the way, the menu does change, okay? So each night when we went in there, they tend to have something different each time we went to order something. But I just wanted a lobster one night, and we talked it over, and I said, it's just $30. I know that seems like a lot, but hey, if it's worth it, I'm gonna get it. So I got the lobster, and you guys can see the picture right there. That's what it looked like when I got it. It was actually terrible. I hate to say it, but it was terrible. I've had better lobster from local restaurants around where I live. I couldn't hardly get it out. Like, I literally couldn't get it out of the shell at all. It was dry and just inedible, basically. So I told them I couldn't eat it. They took it away, but they still charged me for it. So I had to go to guest services, and I had to get myself a refund on it. I told them it didn't taste good. I didn't eat it. So they refunded me the $30 back on the card. So we used it towards something else. But just, I don't know, I'm just kind of a little bit disappointed with that. We'd had so much good food, that it just kind of seemed odd that on a cruise the seafood would be the one thing that didn't taste good, because like I said earlier, the scallops that I had was my favorite thing that we had on the whole cruise. So if the scallops were good, why wasn't the lobster? So I don't know. I think that was close to like the last day that we were on the cruise. I want to say it was, but I'm not too sure. So just, I don't know, maybe it was because it was close to the last day, or maybe I just got a bad one. It can happen. You can get a bad one sometimes. But other than that, all the food was pretty good, and I don't have too many complaints other than the guy's burger, which that was my own fault, and I'll be trying it probably the second or third day from now on. And then the lobster, of course, which I am going to try that again as well. You always have to give things a second chance, okay? We found that out a lot. We went on vacation before, we went to a restaurant that we have at home, and it was actually really good, because the one that we have at home, we had a terrible experience from, and we didn't want to go to it when we went on vacation, but we looked at it, tried it, and was like, you know what, maybe we should give the one at home a second chance, because this one was pretty good. So I will probably give things a second chance, just knowing that you have that cushion of, hey, it's okay, we'll give you a refund if you don't like it. Definitely made me feel a lot better. So I would say that they did really good about that. And the waiter that we had, he was great. He got us whatever we needed, pretty much did anything and everything we asked of him, and he was a really good waiter. So I was definitely happy about that as well. So I think with that though, we are going to end this off. In the next video though, we are going to be talking about the excursions, and that's a pretty big one as well. So that one we will talk about next time. But for now, we are going to end it off here, and I will see you guys in the next Carnival Cruise review video.